Now guys, we've all done it, where you walk into a quilt store with a preconceived idea of how the experience should be, how the store should operate, what they should carry, how they should behave, and how they should be so helpful and have all the information for your current project. But we never think about the reverse side of that. What are things that the quilt store wishes that the customer knew or would do? So in today's video, we're gonna talk about 5 different things that as a quilt store owner, I wish that the customers knew. Let's get started. First, the customer doesn't necessarily understand how a quilt store operates. There are some ideas that quilt stores just make $1 million and everything's fine and everything's dandy 24/7. The reality is fabric, it is an expensive product to purchase for the quilt store. This is not a high margin business. And so when you come into a quilt store, and it happens all the time, guys, that someone picks out fabric and they say, oh, could you bump the yardage a little bit? Could I get an extra, inch on that? Because I need 1/4 of a yard. So if you could give me a little buffer on that, that's a cost to the business, right? In addition to that, the fabric that you're seeing in your local quilt store matters to them. They've spent a fortune on that fabric. You're not really going to see 50% off sales, 60% off sales, super blowout sales in quilt stores unless they're going out of business or that they can't make rent. Since we run in a low margin business, we are required to sell lots and lots of fabric at the highest dollar point that we can just to keep lights on, payroll happening, and as you can see up here in the ceiling, we have a leaky AC unit. That is going to be a $5,000 expense, which again, this is not as a quilt store complaining, it's just understand that the prices are the prices because that's the bare minimum that they have to be in order to provide a successful business and additionally to continue the longevity of a quilt store. Now, a little side note there, I don't want it to seem like we're complaining in any way, shape, or form. We chose the industry that we live in, and we love the industry. However, these are just things to be mindful of, or at least be aware of when you walk into your local quilt store. Now, the second is assume positive intent. Now, what I mean by that, maybe there's a quilt kit, although they're beautiful and fun to make, that the quilt store miscut it. Or maybe the manufacturer miscut it. Maybe you ordered a yard of fabric and you got 35 inches. Mistakes happen. Assume positive intent, meaning be as helpful as you possibly can. Understand that the mistake is going to happen because there's human error. Most quilt stores are just right at the ready to help you solve the problem. The quilt store wants you as the customer to be happy, but also be understanding that they're humans as well. Also, I always like to talk about the general group of the quilting industry. There are thousands of quilt stores here in America that are all trying their best to provide you with the best customer service that they can. They are real people too. There are no corporations behind them. If you have a complaint or you have a suggestion, try to give it in the most constructive, positive way possible. I'm talking about people and people's feelings, especially in a small business, right? Like everything in this business, me and my siblings have built and created. We try to take things not personally, but there's a lot of times that people come in and just say how terrible things are. Be willing to work with a quilt store, that way they can continue to serve you. Number 3 is policies and procedures and lead times in a quilt store. This happens all the time in quilt stores, especially stores that offer like long-arm services, for example. We have a 4-week, 8-week, 10-week, even 6-month lead time on getting your quilt quilted. Understand that they don't want that lead time. They would much rather be current, up to date, being able to provide the services. It's just what it is. They're so inundated with quilts, let's say, that they can't go any faster. And it's so easy to say in this day and age, just hire someone. As soon as I say that, it kind of gives me like ick. You don't just want to hire someone to long arm your quilts. You just put all this love and attention into it, and I'm just going to hire someone. No, you want a professional. You want someone who's been trained. You want someone that can do the job at the standard that you want. And that goes hand in hand with policies and procedures. Here at Soya Quilting, we don't cut anything unless they're in 1/4 yard increments. We've seen friction with it, honestly. Some people have said like, hey, I need a 1/3 yard. You guys don't cut 30 yards. But the reality is, in our ecosystem, how Soya operates as a small business, our databases and our systems can't handle those fractional yardage. We can't handle all the variations of incremental cells in our industry. And so we use 1/4 yard increments as our kind of standard, our flagship. Understand that the quilt store is doing the best that they possibly can because that's their livelihood too, right? And so always, going back to our last principle, assume positive intent, that they're doing the best they can. They're trying to get their stuff out the best that they can. But most quilt stores will not go for speed over quality. They always stick with the quality because, again, you've put so much time and effort into this. We're trying to make sure that to provide the best possible service for you. Little side note here, sometimes too, policies and procedures are simply that because it's the only way to do it. For instance, I'm right here in our sell room, fabric in the sell room, $7 a yard. You have to buy at least a half of a yard. We don't go down to a quarter yard. You have to buy a half a yard. Because as soon as you take in team member time, transaction fees, if it's anything less than that, the quilt store just loses money. It would actually probably be cheaper at some extent just to cut you off that little piece that you need and hand it to you than to actually do the transaction. So some of this is just because it's strictly business, and some of it is because the quilt store is doing the best that they can. Number 4, we love our customers. We love the craft. We love everything about this industry. They love what you're doing. And additionally, they love hearing your stories, seeing your projects, seeing what you're working on. Everything about the industry is what makes it thrive. Customers are amazing. The quilting community, normally the quilt store owner can't express how grateful they are when you walk through the door to purchase some fabric. Because again, it's their livelihood and they're able to work in a field that they absolutely love. Side note is that the quilt store actually wants to hear your suggestions and also hear what you have to say about their business with mutual respect of how they feel. They're grateful that you're coming into the store to shop. They're grateful that you're choosing them. They're grateful for you helping sustain their business. We do all that we can to provide the best customer service, make our stores feel like community centers where you can come in and have like a safe haven of your craft. It's a fantastic way for both the customer and the quilt store to have a positive experience and grow together. Number 5 is that there should never be tension between a quilt store and a customer, but for some reason it happens. There are going to be problems. It's a hobby, guys. It's a hobby. If you're new to quilting and you cut out your first quilt, there's a huge chance that you messed up somewhere along the way. You miscut, you misread the pattern. It's the nature of quilting. If we flip that to the other side of the quilt store owner, a lot of times it's their first business that they've ever ran, or it's the first time they've ever been in retail, or the first time that they've ever had to deal with customers. That's the beauty of this industry, is that we are in an environment where there are real people on both sides. It's not like when you call the bank or something like that and you get that automated voice messaging, Taylor, whatever, that we all trying to get to a real person. In our industry, we thrive off of real people. What I always like to say with this is that come into it knowing that there are going to be hiccups, there are going to be issues, but generally speaking, I love this saying, I've used it a million times, quilters are as honest as the day is long. I always love that phrase because as a quilt store owner, I have lots of long days, but it's so rewarding that we get to serve people, fantastic, honest, hardworking people. And so just take one step back. Whenever there's a frustration, take a step back, take a breather, and allow the quilt shop to do the same thing to help solve the problems. The last thing that I want as a quilt store owner is for you to feel stressed in your hobby. Understanding though that it's a hobby that's new. You're trying out new techniques, you're trying out new this. There are going to be stress points. As a quilt store, it's my goal to try to alleviate as many of those as possible. I'm gonna be just as guilty of making a mistake as everyone else. And that is one thing too for all of our quilt stores that are watching out there. Make sure you are doing the very best that you can to alleviate customer stress. And also take a second for your own self to alleviate your own stresses so that we can provide better customer service. Last little side note here, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. We love what we do and we love that we're able to serve you guys. We want that everyone's able to progress in this industry. All the small businesses, all the .com businesses, and all the quilters out there. We want everyone to succeed, but understanding it's going to be a bumpy road. There are going to be mistakes that happen on both sides, and we should all just understand, though, that there isn't both sides. There's not the quilter and the quilt shop. It is just quilting in general, and how can we all better this industry. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. And also, down in the description section, you can check out soyaquilting.com. They'll link there for you. Just in case you saw anything that you liked here, everything that you see in our videos are also on our .com website. And while you're down there, send us a little comment. Maybe something that we can do better, maybe some words of encouragement. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.